everybody, my name is Sergey Novikov. Targeted attacks are still the hottest topic in industry, and that's why we decided to invite our experts again and ask them some more questions about targeted attacks. So, Mr. Kostin, is it true that only big companies are subject to these attacks?
Definitely not. For the moment, we are seeing cyber criminals focusing on the big companies because they can get the most profits from the big companies. They also have a very good chance of getting a successful attack against a big company with a lot of employees, where, as you probably know, it's much harder to train everybody, to secure all the computers, to make sure that the space is secure. What I do think that there is not just big companies, also medium-sized businesses and small businesses are just as vulnerable to this kind of attacks. The question here is probably not in the physical size of the company, but the size of their assets. How much intellectual property do they have which can be turned into money in the end?
Can you suggest how do I protect me and my company against targeted attacks?
Well, as Kostin already said, one of the main factors of a targeted attack is social engineering. And this means that it's not a technical issue. In most cases, it's the users, the humans in a company that are the weak point. So you have to ensure that your users know how to protect themselves and how to protect the company. And this is only possible you need to do awareness trainings, for example. And when I say awareness trainings, this has nothing to do with, one-time training like some companies do, because if you just do it like for a new employee, you give this person a one-time training, some weeks later this person will have forgotten almost everything. So you need to do this kind of awareness training regularly, and training can be like a presentation, but it could also be, for example, just sending some fake messages through the email systems. I know that some companies are already doing it, so they're sending messages to their employees, and just to check if they would click on the link, for example, and then you go to a website and it says, in this case you would have been infected. And this is actually a very simple but also a pretty effective way of teaching your employees to be careful on what to click on.
Thank you. And how many companies are affected? Do you have any numbers or no?
Yeah, the numbers of infected companies and attack companies, this is actually very hard to tell, because naturally most companies don't want to tell if they're infected, because it's bad for their reputation. So unless they don't have to, because in some cases laws force companies to tell their customers if they have been attacked, but unless they don't have to, they will try not to tell anyone about it and try to solve it with, in their case, if they know about the attack at all. Like I said, in most cases, the company will not find out that they have been attacked.
So, and in the end, I understand what should we do to stop this attack, to protect these attacks. But can you tell me what are security companies doing to prevent these targeted attacks?
Well, obviously we haven't been just standing, and we are now working on new technologies designed to counter this kind of attacks. For instance, we do think that one of the most promising technologies is sandboxing. Through sandboxing, it's possible to isolate a targeted attack inside a restricted environment. So that means that the cyber criminals will not have access to your full computer, your full documents, and to the servers inside your company. So sandboxing is one of the options. We are also working on proactive detection technologies, which will allow us to catch these attacks as they are happening. So in every security company, in every product, there is a layered approach to security. So the first line of defense is traditional definitions, traditional signatures, and then we have heuristics, generics, the second layer, and the third layer should be sandboxing and proactive technologies, meaning Imagine that you get infected with a totally unknown malware that is not detected by the conventional signatures, is not detected by the heuristics. But then the security program, sees that this new malware that is unknown is trying to access private documents on your hard drive. It is trying to take them and send them to a FTP server in China. That's definitely suspicious. So we are working on technologies which will look for this kind of suspicious behavior, and they will attempt to block these activities in the third layer of defense, and that will allow us to protect our users even against unknown targeted attacks.
Do you think we have the proper laws for such cases? What else is needed?
Well, actually, of course, targeted attacks are forbidden in every country, so laws couldn't change anything about the attack itself. But laws can be important to protect, for example, customers of an affected company. And so in some countries, it's required by law that a targeted company, if they find out about the attack, that they need to inform the customers about the incident, and in some other countries this is not required. And I think that in general, of course, it's good if a company is forced to tell the customers if there was an attack, because if credit card data got stolen or any other private personal data, at least the customers should know about it so that they can take whatever they think is useful to protect themselves.
So thank you very much, Kostin, and thank you, Magnus. I think we have very useful information today, and now I'm sure that you know how to protect against targeted attacks. Thank you.